Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Baruch Haba. We're continuing Siman Ayin Aleph. We're still finishing up Sif Aleph. That if you have someone, the Mechaber said, to make efforts on your behalf to bury a mess, and you want to be machmer on yourself, ein moichin biyadai. Says Mishna Berura, b'shvila, you have someone to do it. Purest afilo mutal olav l'kavrai. Even if it rests on you to bury the mess. Sif katan vav. Rak sheyesh lebnei adam achirim sheyisasku b'shvila. You have people, they're going to cover for you. We don't protest. Zehu das Ravya. Nowadays we're not noig like the Ravya. That if you want to be machmir, you're not allowed to. We're not noig that way. By the way, the Reb Chaim Kanievsky brings in the Chazon who is noig like the Ravya. And therefore the Chazon says you're chayiv min hadin. Okay. Siman Shin Mem Aleph. It says, look in your Ardea Siman Shin Mem Aleph, the Sham Pasak, that the Einoi Rashoy Lahachmer B'chol Gavni, you're not allowed to be machmer. Even if you have someone to be oisek in the Kvura, it is asur to say Shema and to daven. And we hold you're not allowed to be noyeg. So the Mishna Berura brought down that the Marshal is not noyeg like the Ravya, but there, Siman Shin Mem Aleph, the Ramah paskins that you're not to be machmir v'cheinikar mikamakam bein shu oinen al aviv, a son who's an oinen for the father. V'yesh misaskin beladai mutter loy leilech lebeis hakneses loymer kaddish alav. It is permitted to go to shul to say kaddish. Why? What's the reason we're not noig like the Ravya? Because it's not covered for the mace. But for a son to say Kaddish ba'aninus, zehu kvoidei shel aviv, umuter l'kol yama, umikol shekein b'Shabbos v'yomtiv, v'davka kishein avelim achirim. That's only if there are no other avelim. Avo kisheyesh avelim achirim loy. If there are other avelim, not. Now, what does it mean if there are other avelim, not? Is it because you're not needed, or it just means that your chiyuv of Kaddish won't trump the other, because back in the day only one person said Kaddish, which is really the preferable way to do it. The fact that everybody says Kaddish is only because people can't get over not saying it. L'maisa b'zman hazeh, this is not so well known. If somebody has an oinein, someone's an oinein, the levaya is Sunday, they should say Kaddish on Shabbos. They should say Kaddish on Shabbos. Sif Beis. When do we say you're pater from Tefillah? That's on the weekday. Aval b'Shabbos chayiv kol hayoyim ad ha'erev. On Shabbos you're chayiv in Tefillah, Shema and Shemon Esrei. Ad ha'erev, until the night. Im machshech al atchum lehisasik b'tzarchei kfura. You're chayiv until the night if you go close to night to the tchum to be involved in tzarchei kfura. At that point you'll be pater. Avalam einoi machshech ala atchum. If you don't go close to the border, close to dark, chayiv gam le'eserv, you're chayiv even in the evening. V'yom tov sheni, on Yom Tov Sheni, there's no exemption. You're not an oinein. Dinoi kachol, it's like a weekday. For Yom Tov Rishon, what about Yom Tov Rishon? Many communities bury on Yom Tov, especially Hasidish communities. Many communities, they do kevura on Yom Tov. If you want to bury on the first day of Yom Tov through Goyim, then it's like a weekday, and you're an oinein. If you're not going to bury that day, dinoi kashabbos. Says the Mishna Berura, chayiv, you're chayiv on Shabbos b'chol habrachos, in all brachos, u'v'chol mitzvahs. So, meaning you're not noyeg, just like you're not noyeg avelos, you're not noyeg aninus. So what about dvarim shabbatzina? Dvarim shabbatzina are still aser. V'zulas dvarim shabbatzina. Mutter leichel beis hakneses, one is allowed to go to shul. Are you mitzarv to a minyan? Yes, normally an oinein is not mitzarv to a minyan. What about a kohen? What about a kohen who is he oila laduchen? If they call him up, he goes up. Some say even if they call him, he doesn't go up. Hatchum, v'adin b'makom shetzarch lahoyshiv gaboim la'achar mincha lahashvais ba'an makom kvura elastic b'shar tzarch yames. If you go near the tchum to be oiseg b'tzarch kvura, then you're pater in the night. Or if, let's say, you're in a situation where you have to appoint gaboim after mincha to try to find a makom kvura, or to be oiseg in other tzarch yames. Rav Shlomo Zalman says, okay, it's Shabbos, but what if the oine needs to think about some of the arrangements of levaya, where to bury, how to publicize it? Rav Shlomo Zalman says, at the times he's thinking about what to do, he is pater from mitzvahs. However, Shlomo Zalman says it could be that at that time you're allowed to do mitzvahs. However, if you're Einoi Machshich, Kasavataz, Nirali, Kivan Sheish Alav Chiv Ba'esahi, if you're Einoi Machshich, then Yesh Alikos Krishma Shal Arvis Ba'oid Yom. You should say Shema even though it's still day. The rest of the tzibur is going to say Shema in the night. At least this way, since in the night you're going to be pater, you might as well say it now. Gimel Mashin and a server came from the Magen Mash. He doesn't hold this way. V'chein kasav al Yerabba to lo yikor krishma ubrachas mid ba'id yom. Don't daven marav, let's say from plag hamincha. V'chol shekein shalei smal tefillah shemana esrei. Now l'chayra, he's not talking about, when he says that certainly you should daven marav, what is he talking about? I would say he's definitely not talking about before Plag HaMincha. Nobody says you could daven then. But even to daven after Plag HaMincha, under these circumstances, it sounds like you shouldn't do it. Many people are very lenient about davening marav after Plag HaMincha. You're allowed to do it as long as you do it every single day. If you don't do it every single day, you may not do it on Sunday just because it's convenient for you or because you have a wedding. Sounds like over here, even though it means missing out on davening completely, you still do not daven after Plag HaMincha. Venira diyikra kriya shema b'loi brachos. It would seem you should read Shema without the brachos. V'matzah Shabbos yoichal b'loi havdalah. Matzah Shabbos, you're going to eat without havdalah. What about doing melacha without havdalah? You do melacha without havdalah, says Reb Shlomo Zalman. Why? Because since the reason you're not allowed to do malacha before Havdalah is because you have a chiv to make Havdalah. But if you don't have a chiv to make Havdalah, you're allowed to do malacha. But he says that it's correct to say Baruch Hamal ben Kosh L'chal. What if you heard Havdalah from someone else and you were mechavein to be yotzei? Do you make Havdalah when the Aninus is over? Says the Chida in the Berkei Yosef, he's yotzei. But the Rosh and the Agois Ma'amina say lo yatsa. Okay. V'lo yispalu, you don't daven. What about someone who has a kfura Sunday morning? He's going to daven shachris after. Does he say atochin tanu in the shachris? He didn't say marav. The Shar Tshuva says no. Kitzur Shach says no. Rav Shlomo Zalman says no. Since you were pater and marav, you don't make it up. But that's if you weren't chayiv in marav. But if the mess died after the zman marav kicked in, but you just happened not to daven marav, so really you need to daven shachris twice. So technically you need to say atochin antanu, the second tefillah. Okay, weiter. Mishna Berura says Matzah Shabbos yochel avdal v'lo yisval la'achar sheikavar meis yavdil afilu ad soif yom shlishi. After you bury the mess, you do havdalah even till the end of Tuesday. Let's hold it over here. We'll see everybody Monday. We're right now 1 day behind, and maybe if we do next Friday or we do twice next week, we'll be on schedule. Okay? Agun Shabbos, everyone. Bracha v'atzlacha. Kol tov.
Why is it, I know it's Yosef from someone else, why does he have to make it over?
Why would he perhaps have to make it over? Because since he was pater from Havdalah, he can't be Yotzei. That's the svara. Okay, have a good Shabbos, a Feil Purim, Kol Tov. Kol Tov.